this balance between work and life. I mean, it's hard in every profession, but it's especially hard in coaching. You had mentioned that when you told your family that you were going to leave Cincinnati to come here, your daughter cried.
Yeah.
Because you moved them 3 times in 6 years. And I actually, Brian, just moved my family across the country. So I did it once. I got 3 young kids, and I knew it was the right thing, but it's still hard for watch them process that.
Yeah.
So 3 times in 6 years must have been very difficult.
It was. You know, it's difficult at the time, but you're always looking forward. And when you talk about Notre Dame and the experience that your family is going to have at Notre Dame and the assets that's going to bring to them as a family, you know, you're making decisions for young kids and for their future. So I was okay with that. It crushed you at the time, especially when it's your daughter, right?
Right.
You know, but I think, you know, clearly moving forward, it's going to benefit them. There's no way that you can balance family and being a head football coach at Notre Dame. What you try to do is make that time when you have with your family, make it quality time, because the balancing of hours just, you can say you want to make it happen, but it just doesn't. So when you have those chances, you got to make them special.
Are they around here a lot? Is your family involved in the program? Your coach's family is involved in the program?
Absolutely. I think that's what the quality time is about, whether you're having up, we have dinner here every night and making sure that they're part of that, or road trips, or on the sidelines. Heck, you know, my son gets a chance to get on the sideline for a Notre Dame football game. Not many get a chance to experience that. Some wait their whole life to come to a game. So there are some trade-offs. You know, I'll miss his football game in a playoff game, which hurts, but, you know, he'll get to see, you know, other games. So there are trade-offs there, but you got to make them special, and I think that's what we try to do in this profession.
As someone who loves the sport of football, and as a dad who obviously loves his son very much, how concerned are you with what we are now learning about head trauma and concussions? As a father, if your son were able to continue his football career at a high level or play in the NFL, would that give you pause?
No, because I've been around the game, and I think the game has changed dramatically. Contact, collisions, education. We've started now at a grassroots level of teaching proper tackling techniques. I think even at the high school level, we're doing such a good job of making sure that contact is at a necessary level. I know when I played, I mean, there was contact every day. There was double sessions, and we don't see that today. So I'm not as concerned as maybe 10 or 15 years ago. I think the precautions are out there. I think the technology is there, and I think the awareness is at a point now where I think it's becoming safer and safer to play the game.
You talk about switching jobs and moving your family around. You at least dipped your toe in the water. Earlier this year, after the Alabama game, you met with Jeff Lurie, the owner of the Eagles. How close did you come to taking that job? Because it didn't sound like you were ever really all that close.
You know, I think it was more intrigue for me than it was interest. I've been in college football all my life, and I really I've never spent any time looking at the NFL game and the workings inside out. And so it gave me a perspective that I never had. And I assumed that there would be other opportunities down the road that I would have to look at. And so I wanted to be able to be educated to be able to say yes or no if one ever came up again. So I think it gave me the opportunity to know more about the NFL, know more about the operations, because I knew nothing about it. I was never offered the job, but it was a great opportunity for me to learn more about the NFL. And I think it really, in my own mind, solidified why I'm a college football coach. The old Bill Parcells line, I like to shop for the groceries and cook the meal. I think that's what college football gives you an opportunity to do, less in the NFL, and it gives you a lot more control, and I certainly like that.
I mean, you're still a relatively young guy. You're only 52. Sounds like you're not completely ruling out the possibility that someday maybe you'd want to take a crack at the NFL.
Well, there's challenges that are in front of me here at Notre Dame that I want to complete. and certainly getting Notre Dame back to a national championship. So there's a lot of work left here. So I think first and foremost, let's get the challenges here at Notre Dame completed, and then if there's another challenge out there, we'll address it. But there's enough on my plate here at Notre Dame.